So we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Nikki. For those who don't know me, I'm the Director of Training and Get Outdoors today with PRPS. We are recording this today for those of you who may miss something because they need to step away from their computer or want to share this with any members or peers who were not able to join us. If you have video, please feel free to pop on. No one cares what you look like, and we all know you have sweatpants or pajama pants on, so it is okay. We appreciate you popping on to share your ideas, your feedback, and let us know what you're going through, how you're surviving the COVID crisis of 2020. As you all know, PRPS has gone through its own turmoil with this darn virus. Sorry to have missed you all at the conference. We are sorry that our amazing committee didn't get to see their hard work come to fruition. But we will come back and make sure great events for you. I'd like to introduce Rochelle. She is going to be one of our leaders today. And again, I'm going to throw Tanya Brown, her tag, under the wheels here, and she's going to provide some information for us as well. We pretty much, with our roundtables, they're kind of tough because we like to allow our participants to really provide their feedback, their ideas. Most of you are muted, so you can feel free to raise your hand, which is available at the bottom part of your screen. You can provide your information in the chat box if you're not comfortable chatting, or if you want to just speak out when you're just bursting with a great idea or comment. So Rochelle, I'm going to turn it over to you. And again, thank you all for participating. I'm sorry we're not going to do full introductions of everyone on the call, but we are up to 51 participants, and I feel like that would take up the full hour of our call. So Rochelle, thank you so much.
Great, thanks. Hi everyone, I'm Rochelle Berry. So I'm the Parks and Rec Director for Collier Township, which is in Pittsburgh. Right now, all of our part-time staff is currently furloughed, and we have myself and a program coordinator working. So what we're doing is a virtual community center. It's on our Facebook page, and really we just take Pinterest ideas. There's a few good resources on Facebook to pull from, and just kind of put that stuff out there, like calligraphy lessons, or right now we're looking at Easter events that you can do online. So that's our main thing. What I'm kind of wondering from everybody, what you're planning for summer. Are you still going to plan your summer camps starting June? Or what you plan to do with that?
This is Christy from Silver Spring Township. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We are kind of proceeding ahead, but we've been in direct communication with our school as frequently as we can. Like every week, we've been trying to get an update from them. One thing we're doing in the meantime is we're putting together like an emergency preparedness plan. That way we can kind of handle what's going on if we do return to camp, how we would handle a case if like a staff member or a child came down with COVID. And we've been taking, I don't know if anybody's done this yet or not, but we've done free webinars through the American Camp Association. They're putting out free webinars on preparing for summer camps through COVID. So take a look at their website. They have a lot of really good resources for things like this right now too.
Christy, since I'm running the summer camp roundtable on Tuesday, can you send me that link because I haven't had time to even look at that?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Sorry, forgot I muted myself. There's a good question in the chat box about how many of you and or your staff have been laid off or furloughed, and what are the reasons that your elected officials or municipal managers have given during these times.
I started to answer that. We at Mechanicsburg are tied to the school district, fortunately, so that act was passed that all employees that work in a school district are being paid indefinitely. So it's one good thing, but I know that Hampton Township was furloughed at some point this week. So I can speak for those two. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
I can say that our community center staff is about 8 people. They're being paid currently and have been since we've been closed since March 10th. They're being paid until May 1st. That was the decision of our borough council. I'm sorry, I'm Lauren Irizarry from Conshohocken, which is just outside Philadelphia for those of you who don't know. They're being paid until May 1st. That was the decision of our borough council. When that time, should that time come, if we're not going back that day, council will revisit, but I'm pretty sure the decision is going to be that they won't be paid and they're going to give them options.
Great. Anybody else?
This is Kathy Wagoner from Berks County Parks and Recreation. Currently, all of our programming staff and part-time staff, anybody like that, are going to be furloughed beginning on April the 15th. That we also furloughed 5 of our full-time maintenance staff to cut back our workforce to just 60%. The Berks County Commissioners anticipate looking at this, having everybody be prepared to go through this till the end of May. We're hoping that we'll be able to bring people back before that. Right now, our programs and reservations and things are canceled through May the 1st. But, you know, we just, I mean, maybe we're trying to think really positively that we're going to be able to bring people back, because we're in the office right now. It's just myself and Brendan Lederer, our maintenance, our assistant director, and our maintenance supervisor, Brian Evans. And then everyone else, while they're working from home right now, or doing Facebook posts, or trying to keep people connected, as of the 15th, they're all furloughed, and it's been it's a very tough time.
Thank you. We have some responses in the chat box as well. Whitpain, everyone is working. They have the option of working from home or taking time off at 75% of their salary. Upper Dublin, full-time recreation staff is working remotely. Part-time staff has been furloughed. Montgomery Township, full-time staff is working on a limited basis. The director and Derek, I'm not sure if your position will be paid for the time being. Office staff, maintenance director to be determined. Dover Township is working in the office. The public is not allowed, and full-time staff remotely, limited time for Bethlehem Township. So clearly that makes things a little difficult for programming and events coming up in the future. There's more responses coming through in the chat box, of course. So with staff being furloughed, with staff being, or some departments, as you know, really being closed, how are you to move forward? Summer camp is one thing, but special events coming up. What are some of the other actions taken by some of the other departments on here?
This is Audrey Logar from Camp Hill Recreation. We actually, I'm to move forward and planning all of our events in May and June and through the summer for now, until a change may be by the governor. So right now I'm supposed to plan ahead for camp, special events, just like I normally would, and just trying to think positive about everything. So that's what I've been told to do right now.
Great.
Is anybody doing any events online right now? Like any type of virtual 5Ks or anything? I've seen a couple other places doing that, but outside of Pennsylvania.
Spring Grove's doing the virtual 5K.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if Kate's on the call, but Spring Grove in York County is doing that. I saw it on their Facebook page. Down here in York County, we're doing, we have a Facebook group called YARD. We're the York Area Recreation Directors. We have our own little group that we meet every month or so when we're not busy. And we're putting together a Facebook page specifically with stuff that we're finding on Facebook, like there's a free photography class, free this, whatever, stuff like that. But we're going to start doing classes through that site as well with some of our instructors. So, and story times, Red Lion, the rec director down there does a story time every day at noon. So we're going to start putting those things on this one combined site so that we can all work together. We're all admins on the page. So Colin, I saw you were on the call. If you went in on that, let me know.
Yeah, I'll touch base with you. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
We could also post something on the What's Up PNR Facebook page. I don't know if everybody's a part of that. And start putting some ideas on there too to share with everybody as well.
I was going to say as well, PRPS, we're looking for ways that we can help with all of your ideas. And one of the things on both the What's Up Park and Rec and the PRPS web Facebook page, we were thinking about creating a page on the actual PRPS website, sharing all of these ideas. So Chalet, if you have ideas, Rochelle, with your virtual programming, we can share those. And if you have a program that you want to go statewide, we can help share that information with other Park and Rec departments. We could share them in the scoop. So that way for agencies that may be limited staffing or just may want extra ideas, they can go to our webpage and be able to connect with you to further their programming at this time. So if that's helpful, please let us know that we can get that page up and running within a day.
Nikki, did you get that book I sent you with all those references we found?
Yes, thank you.
Don't ask me for stuff like that. You'll get a big encyclopedia. Sorry.
No, it's been great. We're just trying to keep up on our end. We the COVID page alone that we have is we were talking today about how to condense it because it's too much.
I'm just thinking out loud. Is there a way that the things that everybody are doing can send it to you on Facebook to make less work for you? Like, I'm trying, somebody help me with that one.
I think we can, I think there's a way you can share your event with PRPS or What's Up Parks and Recreation, and we can just share that event through the page.
You just have to approve it, right?
I believe so, yeah. I'm not our social media guru, but Emily Schnellbaugh is. So sharing it, one of us can figure it out, and then we decide to create that page, we can put it up there as well. But again, if there's something that you want to go statewide, sharing it in the scoop is helpful. You know, if we do more of these roundtables, I think this is a good way to get the information out. Just because we know that one thing missing is a lot of revenues not coming in for a lot of departments. And right now, it's probably not going to come in because the amount of free virtual programs, you're not going to want to do a virtual program, right? Because the competition is so vast right now. So at least keeping your department engaged with your community and even going bigger will be helpful, so that when this ends, we're back to normal, you still have their attention and willing and ready to get right back into your programming.
Chalet, can you share on the comment section your Facebook page?
Yeah, I'll put it in there. It's just at York Area Rec Directors. It's, if you search for it, it's York Area Recreation Directors Yard, but at the @ symbol. So it's facebook.com/York Area Rec, REC Directors, but I'll throw it in there too. Okay. And if you want to put something on Facebook, tag PRPS in the comment feed if you're putting it on your own. And that way they'll be able to see it, and then they can maybe share it on the page from there. That might be something you could do.
That's the answer we were looking for. Tag them instead of them having to approve it. So you just tag PRPS.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the name is exactly, but I'm going to put that in the chat now.
Okay. And I know Sue and Josh are on this video chat, and our Facebook page and our website are constantly being added to, that they've been working on lots of different aspects. So if you want to go to Mechanicsburg Parks and Rec Facebook page or our website and steal anything, please do.
Just catching up with the chat box, Joanna, another thing would be to share vendors who are doing videos and classes. Absolutely. So sharing those via social media, that's a great idea. I've seen that a lot. Because again, as many ideas that we can share with our communities to make sure that they know that there's things to do, the better. So I think that's a great idea.
I have a question for the group, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
Keith Krowski, Westchester Parks and Rec. Everyone is being told, and I'm assuming this is the same in many locations, our parks are open. Hey, come out to the parks. But pretty much everything within the parks is closed. Our parks aren't very large. How are you going about promoting people to still coming out, obviously getting their exercise, walking around with their children, walking with their pets, but yet still keeping the social distancing? Are you promoting other activities like geocaching or fun scavenger hunts for the kids? It's trying to draw a fine line between using the parks and being safe. I just want to get everyone's opinion on it.
We put up, this is Beth from Center Region, and we, the first week we were done or out of the office, we put up some scavenger hunts we had made. We put them online and on our Facebook page so people could print them off. We also posted them at the park on the bulletin boards and just kind of promoted to the people that, hey, if you're going to get out in the parks, here's a color scavenger hunt, here's a letter scavenger hunt, here's a picture scavenger hunt. And a nature scavenger hunt. So we gave them different options. And have gotten a lot of feedback that people like that. So I'm keep trying to come up with something new each week and let people know. We also have a page, like a lot of people do, of just activities that are out there, but we have a section for things to do in the park when you go.
Awesome.
We found I made little craft bags of stuff that we put out into our vestibule before the stay-at-home order was in effect, so people could come pick up little craft things just to help the parents with something to do with the kids. And then I also found a place that you can make your own word searches online. So we made some word searches with names about our community, things like that, and we put that up on Facebook. I'll find that link and share it. Then there's also some that you can make jigsaw puzzles with pictures of something that might be important to your community, and then they can do the jigsaw puzzle. Just anything to give this parents a couple minutes break from the kids is probably a good thing. So
in the chat box,
It might be a.
Tammy mentioned a virtual.
It miit be a good.
Dan, stop. That's Dan from PRPS as well. Just before he talks, Tammy mentioned a virtual egg hunt, and there is a link to their website in the chat box. And just so you know, if you can't get all these links down now, we will have a copy of all the information from the chat box that we will make available on the webpage with the recording. So don't panic if you can't get it all now. Sorry, Dan.
That's good to know, because I'm over here trying to copy and paste and throw it on a Word document right now.
Should have told you that. Sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We came up with
And,
a online. I don't know. Our Mechanicsburg is named after mechanics, so wrenches are very important. So we are going to hide wrenches, not us, the local community. So we're going to reach out to churches. Real big one is restaurants, that they have some type of wrench in their restaurant. So it might pick up and carry out. We have a Mechanicsburg Chamber, a downtown Mechanicsburg, the Museum Association. We're going to get them all involved with a wrench that they decorate. And then we're going to do a wrench scavenger hunt, and then people will go out and find the wrenches and take pictures of the wrenches and see who can get the most wrenches by the end of COVID-19. And we're going to introduce 5 new wrenches every week.
Nice.
Great idea.
Hi, this
So
is
what
Sarah
I was
Freeman.
going to say,
Go ahead.
what I was trying to say earlier was that if there's 59 of us on this line, so if everyone has like a page or a website where they have some unique activities, why don't you go ahead and post it in the chat box for everyone else? And then, as Nikki said, we could distribute, if nothing else, we can distribute the text from the chat box to everyone, and you'll have all those sites all ready to go.
Thank you.
If you want to post your email address in there as well, because we don't have all the email addresses, I can email directly to you, and not just on the webpage.
That's awesome. And I don't have to copy and paste it.
All right, what other good ideas do we have out there? What about big summer special events? I know Audrey mentioned that I think it was Audrey, that she's still planning through May and June and July, but you know, summer's coming. We all have, you know, 4th of July events. I mean, May is bike month. Is everyone else moving forward? Are they kind of hesitant? How is everyone feeling?
This is Lauren again from Conshohocken Borough. On Tuesday, we had an emergency management meeting about special events. As of right now, all of our special events programming is canceled through May and June, except for summer camp. So right now, we're still planning for summer camp because depending on when people go back to work, we figure that they're going to really need that childcare starting in June. The special event that really we're going to kick it off right now, that's the plan, is 4th of July. So we have fireworks, we have a soapbox derby. That will be the big first event, barring any further extensions from Governor Wolf or, you know, if the virus seems to worsen. It'll be evaluated again, but that is the plan right now.
Thanks, Lauren. And what safety precautions? Are they talking about any kind of specialty precautions to take when doing summer camp and or the events regarding the virus?
So as far as summer camp, we're still working on that, but for the fireworks, normally it's done in one of our parks, and people congregate in the park. We have vendors. It's pretty big. And as of right now, we are not getting the vendors. We are not allowing any vendors and no one in the park. So they'll have to watch from the perimeter of the park. Conshohocken Borough is a 1 square mile town with over 8,000 people. So it's kind of densely populated. So you can see from your houses. A lot of people from neighboring towns do come down, but no one will be able to be in that area of the park.
For Collier Township, our community day isn't until the fall, but right now is normally when we'd be sending out, getting our vendors and sponsors and everything. So we're still sending out those forms and getting people those dates and everything locked in, but we're not making them pay for their spots yet. They can send in that they're interested, they want to be there, but knowing how businesses are suffering right now, we're not making them give that payment just yet.
I'm going to go to some questions in the chat box while everyone else is thinking. Mike asked, for those who utilize the school for their program, I assume, oh, sorry, we just got a lot of chats all at once. I'm curious who utilizes the school for their programs and is it on hold pending when and if the students come back. Tanya, Tug, I'm not sure what to call you.
It's Tug, it's fine.
I know you're in the schools. I know Beth, you use the schools. How are you handling those situations? Are you just waiting to hear back?
So we were told to cancel all our programs from now till April 30th based on the governor's mandate, and we will be told according to the mandate as to when we will come back. But it's also been known that the teachers will probably come back a day or two early. Well, first, the facilities department will come back a day or two early, clean the buildings, then the teachers will be coming back, and then maybe we could possibly start our programs. But we'll be put on hold according to the mandate and follow that protocol that's set forth by the governor. Or if the governor just opens it up and says, okay, the schools can decide on their own, what I take it is we'll be starting a week after we go back to school that we can actually do programs. But we might be held, the cleaning schedule could be changed. I kind of have a feeling that we're going to go down that road. And we might be, so we have 2 machines that go out and do what they call deep cleaning, which is the spraying disinfectant that's done with a machine. They might block off 2 schools per night to do that deep cleaning if we would go back. So we would be moving programs all over the place based on that aspect.
Okay.
I don't even want to think about it. But I have, but.
I agree. And I've started thinking that I'm not sure if, we're the same as you, Tug, in the sense that we've been told obviously no programming through April 30th. If they don't go back at all, my fear is that the schools will stay closed through the summer on our end, just because if they clean and then they can keep them closed and they don't have to worry about it. So now it's, what do I do with camp? So am I moving camp outside? If so, I've never done that. I know a lot of people do. So I may be hitting people up for what does that look like? Where do we go? How do we run camps, et cetera? So we're kind of planning on both ends, and then also planning for the completely unknown like everybody else.
Yeah,
that's exactly where we're at. And that's my fear, is that if they cancel the school year, there's no reason why they would open up to accommodate us.
Exactly.
So we're planning camp as normal, but I'm kind of hemming and hawing on some things. And with the new background check laws, that I'm not hiring as much staff, I'm going to be scrambling at the end to try to get them in place and have their background checks in place.
Right.
So
we're in the same boat.
Yeah, going with that, the Derek Montgomery Township, we hold a camp for about 160 to 200 kids. We'll be going down to about 60 kid camp if that all happens. So that's a whole other thing too.
Nikki, I was on Governmental Affairs Committee meeting yesterday, and the provisional employees, they're drafting information right now to send to legislators to go back to, we could go back to provisional hiring. Just keep that in the forefront. Once the Governmental Affairs Committee, I'm sure PRPS would put that through the scoop. So just keep paying attention to the scoop.
Yeah, we discussed that at our staff meeting, that they're hoping to at least change that timeline to next year, if nothing else, because of everything else that's going on. Their departments aren't working themselves. So how can they make any kind of decision to provisional hiring if they're not in their offices? And Mike, some other feedback here, they're waiting to hear from the governor about schools. And Tammy, I believe from Upper Devlin, said, their summer camps are in schools, and they've developed a relocation plan and placed camps in alternate sites, and they'll reevaluate near the end of April. So a lot of that kind of feedback is it's kind of hurry up and wait, I think. So thank you for that. That was a great question.
Does anybody have a school that's pretty much said they're done for the school year? Because our school district that I'm in, the locale, not where my kids go, but where I work at, has sent out a letter saying that they're pretty much convinced they're not going back the rest of this school year. So I don't know if anybody else is hearing that yet at all.
Yeah, our school district sent that out this week that they're not going back.
Wait, where are you from?
Chartiers Valley. So it's in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We have not been. I think so far we are still holding on with, it seems like every, whatever the governor mandates, and then we kind of move from there.
Mm-hmm.
Our school is doing a school building project, and they were ending school early and before Labor Day because they needed to get all the kids out before so they could finish. They have to tear down one building to make a parking lot for a new building. So they were already ending and being out and everybody else. So I think they're deciding it hasn't been 100% decided yet, but I think they're under the impression they're not going back.
I was going to say pretty much every educator, every teacher that I've spoken to has told me they have no plans of going back this year. They don't
Right.
expect it. They haven't been told officially, but they're all planning to not go back to classes, which, again, I think someone said earlier that if they're not going to go back to classes and the schools are taking significant monies and time to disinfect and clean the schools, I highly doubt that our programs are going to be allowed in there.
Right.
All in the same situation.
I'm hearing that from all the teachers in the Pocono Mountains District as well in Monroe County.
I think for us, for the city of Allentown, we have a lot of uncertified staff that we look to employ as lifeguards, and we do a lot of our own in-house training classes. Without those schools, those trainings are done right now. We've canceled about 6 of them at this point. So we're having the discussions today with our mayor and managing director as far as what of our outdoor aquatic facilities plan is going to be moving forward.
Another good question we have in the chat box is, what is everyone's policy promoting third-party vendors? Usually with partners who provide recreational programming. Any program that this person does is strictly run by themselves. So if you're doing, you know, a fitness program or maybe.
Yeah, just to kind of clarify that.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, no problem. So essentially, we are avoiding any kind of financial ties to any programs right now. No instructors, no part-time staff, no third-party vendors. Montgomery Township has a neutral content policy. So we aren't promoting even like soccer shots or anyone we work with during the year. So it's kind of everything's just, you know, community-based little activities we can do virtually.
We canceled all of our contracted programs because we're not allowing them to use our facilities anyway. So, you know, we just canceled. I told everybody I'd look to reschedule, and they're understanding we're issuing full refunds to everybody.
That's exactly what we're doing too.
Yeah, we're doing that
I also
too.
put in here on the side earlier, we just aren't doing registration right now either. We're not doing any finances whatsoever.
Is that the same for everyone? How are refunds working with regular programs? Have you started looking to refunds for summer camps regarding maybe even are worried about COVID?
We're not refunding for camp yet because if we have camp and people want to refund, then that comes into a whole our no refund policy. We end up withholding 10% if we're running the program. But everything else, we're processing refunds as quickly as we can. I mean, that's the majority of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, right now we're just doing everything through April 30th, but it'll kind of be as it keeps going.
Right.
Yeah. Until April 30th too, right now. I'm getting the language from the province. We're going to hold off on the summer camp refunds as well. We're just waiting on the government and also the school district.
Jane, we're having a hard time hearing you. If you could come a little closer and speak up just a little bit, please.
All right, can you hear me?
A little bit better, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're not refunding for the camp as of yet. We're waiting on feedback from the school district as well. So we are doing other refunds right now for some of our programs that were canceled.
Okay, we heard a little bit of that.
Karen, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
So,
keep it tight
so
for you.
basically we haven't done any refunds for summer camp yet. But like we had a Zumba class that was supposed to start in April. That stuff that people were signed up for, we're doing refunds for. We actually have a acting class that is, that started in January and was going through the end of April. So we are actually giving them the choice to the last few weeks to either do an online 4-week class, or they can get a prorated refund for the last couple classes that they'll miss. So we're in the process of doing that, but that's the only class that we're doing that for.
That's where we are.
we've been processing refunds pretty much for whoever asks for them. If they are asking for refunds from camp, we are charging them a processing fee and making them well aware that once they withdraw, they're not getting their spot back because we have a number of camps already with waiting lists. So I posted on the chat that even though we're getting requests for refunds, we're still getting requests for registrations. We are taking those registrations, and our plan is if we do have to cancel camp, we'll most likely offer them a credit to be in line for next year's camp or a full refund without any fees.
Great.
We're doing refunds here in Dover. I had a bus trip supposed to go to like a 9-day bus trip to New Orleans. The tour company actually canceled that. That was supposed to go in April. I think I gave back 26 grand worth of money in April with rentals and bus trips because I had a New York City bus trip I had to cancel because I'm not sending people there, not right now. So, but we have a lot of rental facilities. So yeah, I think it was like 26 grand worth of money. Now some of that came back from the tour company because a lot of that was for that one bus trip, but yeah, it's not fun.
No.
Someone posted a good question in the chat about sponsorships. I've already had, I'm going to be canceling probably 3 or 4 events through the end of May, and my sponsors obviously aren't getting what we told them they'd be getting out of this. I'm sure they're understanding. I haven't had a lot of contact with them, but you know, some of my sponsors are $8,000-$10,000. So have you had much conversation with your sponsors regarding them wanting monies back, or how you would, I guess, reimburse them with other events or future events, things of that nature?
I'll speak to this. At the PRPS conference, clearly we had vendors and sponsors, and we canceled, as most of you know, pretty last minute because it all kind of came at once. And with a lot of our vendors and sponsors, we had options for them. So we gave them the option to sponsor a future event throughout the year or even next year's conference. We did the same thing with vendors. Or of course, we also offered a full refund because the one thing we wanted to do was maintain a positive relationship with them. We wanted them to come back in, whether it's for a CPSI class, a fall membership meeting, or a conference. So, you know, we reached out via email and then with follow-up calls. And the thing we wanted, again, was to keep them as a partner in moving forward. So we did have a handful of them that are sponsoring future events for this year, some for next year's conference, and then for some of them, being smaller organizations or small businesses, needed that refund, and we were more than happy to do that. So I think maintaining that relationship so they come back in the future when they can was very important. So that's what we did, and it seemed to work out very well. That would be one of my suggestions, is to have a variety of options available to them.
And that's what we're doing. We're offering to either extend the sponsorship out an additional year, or they can sponsor additional events. They're actually trying to give them more for their money. My biggest fear is with the economic climate, if we give them their money back, we're not going to see it again. You know, it's people are going to be hurt and the sponsorships are going to be down. So we're trying to do everything possible not to refund it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what Jane and I were talking about yesterday, about the sponsorship. So anyone that was, because we had to cancel our egg hunt and we had some sponsors there, so we're going to look to maybe do them for like our fall fest in October. But, and also we get a lot of sponsorship for like our fireworks and stuff. So we're kind of not sure of what we're going to do because you can't really put sponsorship, you know, requests out now at this time, and the rest of our events for the rest of the year may struggle with that. So we're kind of not sure what we're going to be able to do. We're still in talks with our manager and stuff.
Along that same lines, there's questions on the comments. I know you're paying attention, Nikki, so I'll read it. It says, is anyone concerned about when it is all over, what kind of response they might get from a large scale event? And then somebody wrote that they don't see the world rushing back into full scale events. I see everything being scaled back and more limited. I think it'll be a year or two until we're back to normal. I personally have had concert tickets for July 10th, and that has already been canceled. Not even postponed, it was canceled. So I'm just reading the side. So I thought maybe Nikki couldn't keep up.
No, I could. There's a lot of great feedback and questions. And again, we will make sure that everyone gets the full transcript of this. But thank you for pulling that one out.
I kind of have a comment on that. This is Lauren Irizarry again from Conshohocken, because I saw in the comments when I said that we canceled special events, you know, May and June, and someone said, you know, wow. That's kind of our thinking, is that, you know, the governor for our county has canceled, you know, has the stay-at-home order until April 30th. Come May 1st, our thinking is that, okay, everything's just not going back to normal, and, you know, it's not going to be, you know, events where hundreds of people are attending. We kind of started with, you know, no mass congregations or no mass gatherings. So we're kind of thinking that's what we're going back to. Maybe that'll be the first thing in place. Okay, we can go outside, but there's no mass gatherings, or gatherings over 50 people, whatever it might be. Everything is not just going to go back to normal. So that is the thinking on that.
No, I totally agree.
I would tend to agree with what you're saying, Lauren. It's just like the curve in this pandemic. It's going to go like that, where things will be loosened up a little bit, maybe, you know, and you know, who can see the future on all this stuff? And it puts us all in a real bind on planning and going forward. So the other thing I wanted to bring up real quick is I put in a poll about having these roundtables continued. Several of you have answered already. I encourage everyone to answer, because again, with as much unknown, I think continuing these might be helpful for all of us.
Are there other questions that are coming to your mind today that we haven't addressed that you would like to get answers to, or feedback, or ideas that you've done that you want to share with the group? And I know we haven't heard from some of you. If you can put them in the chat box, or if you're muted, let me know. I can unmute you. Just maybe there is a raise your hand function at the bottom, or just holler out. We still have a large number of people, but we would love to hear from everyone.
I think maybe this is a question for Dan more than anyone else. With the maintenance side of things on amenities like playgrounds and basketball courts and things like that, what guidance can be shared with maintenance staffs about it, other than CDC stuff, that we're recommending to the maintenance side of Parks and Rec to move forward with?
We are working on that. In our COVID page on our website, there's a whole category on maintenance activities. And from my latest information is that maintenance is one of those activities that is permitted, provided you take the necessary precautions as far as social distancing. But, you know, grass is going to grow, and we all got to pay attention to that. But really, I would refer you to our website and the COVID page on our website.
I would also suggest that you go to the PA Park Maintenance Institute. Yeah, the PA Park Maintenance Institute page. The new director was hired earlier this year and has been pulling together a lot of information on his page as well. So when it's specific to maintenance parks, he has been able to pull great information. So PA Park Maintenance Institute, you can get that through the PRPS page and pull some great information up there as well. Anything else?
There was another question on the side, what everybody is doing about their newsletter and information placed in it. Are you still sending out newsletters, or how are you doing that?
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Mike. Sorry.
I think we did just put one out. I don't do it, but I think it was just put out if I saw it in my email with all the other things. And I think it mostly just alerted to our playground and parks being open, but the playgrounds being closed by municipal order, and just like the activity page and just a few other activities and things to do. So I think we're just trying to, whatever we can take from the website, we put on there to promote, and also maybe what our future looks like so far that we've canceled all programming through April, and then when we may know more. So just kind of informing in that way, just to keep, like Nikki said, in touch with people on the same schedule we've always used.
In
This
the
is
chat
Christy
box.
from Silver Spring. We want to move forward with ours, and you might want to check with your printers, because our print company right now is kind of in limbo, and we're not sure whether or not they're going to have the staff to be able to put ours out. So check with your print company on that. Our hope is we're going to mail ours out maybe sometime in May. If not, we're looking at doing like an online version of it with clickable links. We even reached out to our sponsors to get their feedback on whether or not they'd even be interested in that. And I think a lot of them were more concerned about whether or not they had like clickable links to their websites, and if we would like reduce our value and like the amount of money they paid for their advertisement, stuff like that. So we're just kind of in the middle of figuring that all out right now. So we're not quite there yet, but that's what we're doing.
There's some good feedback about that in the chat box as well. Some people, let's see, they delayed their guide, hoping to reduce it to a summer guide only in early May, posting the full guide online. Another one postponing. One guide covers through December, so it's too late to really alter the content. Going forward as planned, delaying until mid-May for distribution. Making this, again, it's been sent, making updates via Facebook, not sending out a summer newsletter through the mail this year. So wide variety of options. You know, I think this kind of hit everyone a little bit at the worst time possible. Here's another good question. Field rentals, issuing credits to teams, giving them extended rental time once fields are lifted, or refunds. Does anyone manage sports teams, and what are you doing as far as field rentals?
You don't want to know my answer. I just didn't even do them.
You send rent fields out.
We don't charge, so we're in a completely different boat. So I just didn't do them when I saw it coming.
Yeah, we don't really approve until Public Works tells us okay, which is whenever they get the fields ready. So we have no one really on limbo right now. We haven't approved anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that ours are due, you know, they're set to open on April 1st, and I think the reservation or the request was due in March, and I think Jeff's just holding off for right now until we know what's happening. We know that the things are going to open, not open, but that the parks are open, but that, yeah, any kind of congregating on the fields or whatever. So I think we've just put him on hold for right now until we know more.
Great. All right, any final questions, comments, feedback?
Our poll says 41% for weekly, 53% for every 2 weeks, 0 for not necessary. So I think we're going to continue these, and maybe we'll split the difference and do like every 10 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So look for this again. What we'll do is, for those of who have sent us an email address, we'll get the recording and a full copy of the transcript out to you. If I didn't get your email address, keep an eye on the virtual roundtable webpage, and we'll get another one scheduled for about 10 days from now. Thank you so much for participating. It was amazing feedback, great ideas. You guys are doing amazing. And I know your communities are thankful. I know I'm thankful in my community for what my department's doing, and I'm out at our parks. So Thank you so much. We hope you all stay safe and healthy, and we'll hopefully see you again in about 10 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.